That was a thing. All right, TWBD 1. Okay, forgot to record it. Okay, it's recording, and now we go. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Here it comes in 3, 2, 1. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons. It is There Will Be Dungeons Delvers Season 2 continues today. Right here with me, Scott Johnson, John Jagger, Kyle Ferguson, and of course, the overly talented and incredibly powerful woman in our lives, Kristen Ashton. Sorry, I was stalling while I moved a window around. I had to say
I appreciate it.
I had to say nice things about Kristen while I did it. And I meant every word. Anyway, welcome back to the program. We're going to have some adventure today. Before we do, we'd like you to poke your noses over at a certain website called phoenixpearltea.com. Why? Because they have teas, and they have a whole bunch that are based on our adventures here. You can find those at phoenixpearltea.com/TWBD and sip right along with us with your favorite blend of tea. That's phoenixpearltea.com/TWBD. All right, we're going to dive right in, and by that, I mean throw it to Kyle, who will tell us what happened last time on There Will Be Dungeons.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, we delved into the dreams and fought a shade of the Kalazar, perhaps a projection, a manifestation. But the team did excellent, to the surprise of the DM as well. They succeeded and defeated the shade of the Kalazar, freeing Ko's wife from her 3-month slumber. They awaken inside Carrie Underworld's office, and Ko and Anathala, did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Are embracing at the current moment. Carrie, overwhelmed by her lack of involvement in the dreamscape, has been questioning Grinkeeper as to what's happened inside. And that's where we go now for a brief recap of what happened from the Grinkeeper perspective.
Well, we hit it with a spear. He melted into sand. His face broke. That was before the sand. There's a big city. So it was out the window. She was kept in this bed, and there was water running and stuff, and there were guards, but they let us in. We pretended to be a bird queen, and they were my guards. They did great.
Bird queen?
A bird queen. It was great. I'll whistle later. I don't know if I can do it in real life. In my dreams, though, I was great. So anyway, so we get in there. Anathala is there, and Splendorbelt casts cure disease, I think, right? And she'll look over at Splendorbelt.
Yes. I'll nod, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then that wakes her up, and that summons the Kalazar, who shows up on a bat. He was on a bat. It was crazy. And he was like this big elf guy, and he had stupid skulls. They looked like Hakors.
Stupid skulls?
Yeah, they were pretty silly. They looked like plucked chickens. It was weird. But anyway, so we start the fight. It's great. Lightning, javelins, and stuff, and we're trying to get everyone out of there and keep everyone up. And then he breaks. I guess because he was weak or something. So he breaks, and then there's sand everywhere. And then he's like a sand dude who tried to crush me. And then he had this inside thing, and Grinkeeper will pull out the crushed red gem that she grabbed from the dream. And I hit it with my hammer, and it broke, and he died again. But he said he'd be back or something. And then we woke up. And oh yeah, Splendorbelt and I got to run from this tidal wave of sand. It was huge. But then Ko did this cool hand thing, and he stopped it, and we all got out.
Okay. Did you catalog any of the spells he cast? Is there any? Did you perhaps? Do any of you have arcane knowledge that you cataloged his spells or abilities with?
He tried to put bugs in my blood.
He made the wave. It made the big wave of sand. It sucked.
Bugs and blood. That could be a number of curses. Did it succeed? Do you have bugs in your blood now?
Oh no, it was cool. It was like I was blessed by a god or something.
Right. Well, paladins, that is kind of your thing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Splendorbelt, did you notice anything that we can use going forward?
Just a wave of sand.
Sand.
I don't understand how he did it, why it was happening, but it's a very scary big wave. As best I could tell. I don't have details on these, just that it was bad.
Okay, well, we know that the goo that is repeatedly found up in your adventures has been the sand manifested in an ooze form, so it makes sense that he would have control over the dunes that he governs. Ko? No, we'll leave Ko to it. We're very happy for you, Ko. Yes, and Cassius steps in. Congratulations. We're all very excited. We do have to keep moving, though. Tomorrow is the Bronze Ball, and we have several events that are happening before that. Ko, best listen up here. We are going to be running your silver exams tomorrow morning. You will have the rest of the day off to recover from this event. Those will be conducted by the Numalari, the guild representatives who run the guild academy. I expect you all to be on your best behavior. It is worth noting, though it may go to your heads, that you've already been approved for silver rank. This is merely to find your ranking in silver. You will be judged on a number of categories, and I expect you to represent the Chimera Guild here well. After that, you are due for a bellows box portrait. We will be taking that outside in the backyard. Any questions?
Splendorbelt will shake his head. No, he gets it.
Very good. The rest of the day is yours. Congratulations on your success. We will be looking into the rest of the afflicted from the Calazar today. Ko, we would be happy to have Aegis escort you both home.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Very good. And he opens the door and motions you all out. Carrie stands by and helps Anathala get to her feet. And she wiggles a little bit. Though she's lost no muscle structure thanks to magic, she is quite frail-seeming and holds her head as she raises herself up.
Yeah, Ko would just help support her and guide her out to the carriage.
So Ko and Anathala kind of lead the way out the door, down the hall, through the side door that enters into the main guild hall, where you still see all the tables set with the many, many items that you've collected over your adventures, along with other guild representatives who have also collected things that are being set up for silent auction and full auction as well. Ko and Anathala head straight out the door and climb into Aegis's cart, where he trots off, taking him home. Splendorbelt, Grinkeeper, the day is yours at the moment, and it is a bright and sunny day outside. It's about 10 o'clock, as our adventure in the Dreamscape did not take long at all. You see the various guild representatives entering through the doors, coming in with all kinds of items. You see the 5 emissaries, led by Dharma Edstream, the halfling wizard in her oversized robe, carrying and stuck to a large amount of what looks like spider silk as she enters through the door. You see the First Sons Brotherhood sitting over at the bar, and they have in front of them these many kind of globules. They look like little, giant glowing red boogers that are all piled up on the table before them, and they're toasting their drinks to each other. Edgar Boonfellow, Norman Green, and Phelan. And as per usual, you see Belle Soonish and Riley Mancave over in the corner looking, well, at least as Belle always looks, rather sulky.
All right, Splendorbelt, I gotta get going back to school.
Okay, you go do this. I'm going to check on farm, and I would want to head to the potato farm and just kind of get an update from disembodied Minotaur head man.
Named Chad, I believe.
That's right, Chad.
Grinkeeper,
yeah.
You head back to school. You head down the street, You see the Aegis cart pull out in front of you and make its way down towards the market district. Approaching the school, you are currently in your armors and whatnot. Do you do anything special?
Yes, she would roll her eyes, go back to the guild, change, and then head back.
All right. Once again, you rent a room as money is no object to you. And you change up and head back towards the school. Being only 10:30, you're in plenty of time to attend the day's lessons, which is basically final rehearsal for the dances that'll be performed at the Bronze Ball. This is the Ran Ilfilkir finishing school, and today you will be working on the Beast in the Flowers. Please roll a acrobatics check or a dexterity saving throw if you would choose.
They're both the same, a 9.
A 9. A rough class takes place, and the lady notices and pulls you aside. Grinkeeper, excuse me, darn it. Evelyn Blackwood.
Yes?
What is the matter today?
I'm just so nervous about the ball tomorrow.
This is about that suitor you met last time, yes?
Evelyn goes, I don't know what you mean. And she will try very hard to not have her eyes dart back and forth.
We, frankly, all saw you, Evelyn. 2 dances with the same man in a single ball. Most unbecoming. Your dance card should be filled with many different characters throughout the ball. We are attempting to entertain these adventurers as well as showcase the school's pedigree. Please do not flirt off with some adventurer again this time.
Thank you, Lady Vestal.
Now, again, Beast in the Flowers, one more time. Roll again.
An 8.
Why don't you have a seat and perhaps the vampire's lair will serve you better.
Evelyn will nod and go sit down.
The class proceeds, the dancing proceeds, and you all move on. Other classes are canceled for the day, though you are off to Flowers, Wine, and Champagne as a group. The entire school partakes in a lecture about how best to arrange the flowers for the upcoming Bronze Ball tables, and how to hold one's drink in the most ladylike way, which is basically to not drink at all, but hold the drink that is brought to you. Eventually, as the afternoon progresses, you are left to what is independent study, but is expected of you to prepare your dress for the Bronze Ball evening. You return to your room. Margaret Dupayton is there. Hey, Lady Blackwood, gives a little curse. How was the morning?
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. Let me tell you about it as we work on our dresses. So, we go into this dream and there's a big bad guy there. He's so weird. He's made of sand or something. But we kicked his butt.
Make sure you're paying attention to the stitching. We still need to make sure these look good.
Okay, yeah, sorry. But yeah, anyway, so I managed to bring something back from the dream, which was really weird. We woke up Ko's wife, by the way. It was really cool.
Ko? He's one of your companions in the group you have.
Yeah, the satyr. I guess his wife was down or something, and she was gonna marry the dude. It was weird.
Oh, watch out! Roll a sleight of hand check.
$12.
You managed to stop yourself from doing a bad stitching and recover. Your finger does not get pricked and put blood on your lovely dress.
Evelyn exhales.
Maybe we should talk about this later. But there's one big problem. what are you gonna do tomorrow night when you're expected to be there as Grinkeeper?
You know, I've been giving this some thought because you were the one who suggested I should just be myself, right? So what
Okay.
if I just be myself?
As in Lady Blackwood or Grinkeeper?
I don't know. One of the two, right? They could be the same. I'm the same, right?
So you would quit the school?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know what would happen. They might kick you out.
I don't know, but what if he's at the dance again?
Oh.
I have to find him. That's why I joined this whole thing in the first place.
And she kind of leans forward with this big smile. The Gallant Traveler?
Yes.
The Cavalier hero?
Yeah, what if he shows up again?
He might.
I have to find him.
Well, he would recognize you best as Lady Blackwood, right? You didn't start adventuring until a couple months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Blackwood it is.
So if we if I can do some light enchanting, we can maybe put your dress in under your armor, and you can, I mean, once you take off the armor, the dress would fold out, and you'd be in the dress for the night. But you could do both, or we could. And she looks over at the bed where underneath is your massive mannequin of yourself. You could sit in the corner for a long time, not doing anything.
No, I don't sit in the corner. Okay, let's do that. I will show up as Grinkeeper if I don't have to do anything beforehand. I'll take care of all of the stuff I have to do beforehand. Then I'll show up as Grinkeeper. Then we'll get rid of the armor, and I'll be Blackwood for the rest of the night.
Okay, and Lady Vesta would expect Blackwood to show up late anyway, so that
It works.
I think that works. I'll help you change. Or you just give me the signal.
Okay, how about this? And then Evelyn will throw up her hands and start twisting her wrists.
What? Sure. Is that that's fine. An adventurer can probably do whatever they want, and that hand, yeah. Just excited to dance, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be the signal.
Okay. You could also just say you're very hungry, because all the food is going to be in a separate room, so it doesn't upset the dance floor.
Oh, that's a better idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I also have a fan. You want to see this fan? I could start waving the fan.
Oh, what's the fan for?
I don't know, but it sure lets out a big gust of wind. I found it at the store in town. It's pretty cool. It didn't work on the bad guy, though.
Oh, I don't think we'll need the gust of wind, but we could use it at the dance if you'd like. We could write the steps on the back of it.
Yes.
And you could remember the steps for the upcoming dance, because I know you've been struggling with the Beast in the Flowers.
I'm no good with that.
I know, and also the Waltz of the Red Dragon you missed practice for. We should do that one too tonight.
All right, I'll get started writing the steps on the fan here. The dress can wait.
Meanwhile, at Splendor Belt Farm, you walk down the streets. The town seems to be bustling as usual. You make your way across the bridge and up past the river and over to your plot of land, the Splendor Belt Farms. As you approach, you see a stick waving at you. The scarecrow with the Minotaur's skull on top is attempting to twist himself about, and as best he can with his scarecrow arms, he's kind of doing they're both one big stick, so he's kind of doing a round sort of business.
Okay. Toward me, like at me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll approach and say, what is it? What are you trying to flag me down?
Yes, the fisherman has approached multiple times in your absence.
The same fishman as before.
Yes,
He's up to something, this fishman. What did he do?
he wants to talk to you. He has a bag and a hat, a big hat with a feather.
Where is this hut?
A hat.
Oh, you said hat. So I thought you said
Hat.
hut.
Yes, I have no lips as I am cursed.
Where is he? Where is he now?
Well, I told him you'd be very angry if he waited in the farm, so he's there, in the bush. In the bush there.
Oh. Okay.
And he turns himself, hopping kind of sideways until his long stick arm points out towards the swampy bushes.
And that's how far from here, where I'm standing?
About 50 feet out.
Okay.
You know that pretty quick after the farm ends, you get into the area known as the Noble Hollow, where the ground is a bit corrupted, but your farm seems to be going well and rather healthy.
All right. Out come the maces, and I'll creep over to the bush. And I'll say, I know you can't move, but wait here. I'll be back.
Okay, be safe. Thank you.
And I'll make my way toward the bush.
Do you approach stealthily or just walking straight at it?
I would try to be quiet-ish if I could, knowing that it's hard for me. But yes, I would attempt it slowly, not necessarily. I'm not trying to maintain silence as much as I'm just trying to be ready if something crazy happens. So I'm just being slow.
Okay, that sounds solid.
Yeah.
So you approach purposefully, deliberately, slowly towards the bush. And as you approach, you see the back of a fishman, of that vibrant kind of pinkish purple with the blue fins that run down the back. Looks to be a very same fishman that you encountered out there at the dungeon.
Okay. And he's just sitting there?
You can hear him kind of rasping in the bush there. But he's definitely crouched down and peering at you through the bush.
Please come out of bush. I desire to speak to you, so come out of bush.
No anger!
I am not angry. I am just trying to see what you need.
A head pops up. You see sort of a Robin Hood-like hat upon his head.
Okay.
And it takes you a moment, but the bag, the various utensils of human make, it appears to be Glipoma, the fishman from the Kuatoa village.
Okay. I will recognize this and say, oh, it is, Glipoma. I know, you know me. Come out. It's fine.
Oh, remember name. Oh, most pleasant, most holy. Oh, thank you.
He's fine. And I put my my maces back into their holsters, their holders, their hooks, whatever they are.
I have talked with your guard,
Yes.
and he say you nice.
He is correct. I am nice. I am very nice man.
You took
Go
a
ahead.
big bleeper bloops from village.
Well, not really me so much as us, but yes.
He ever come back?
Do I know if he ever came back?
Last time you heard or even asked about him, you left him in the cells at the bottom of the guild.
I would say he's still he is in very safe, well taken care of custody currently. He is not in any danger. He's fine. He's being fed, watered, and treated well. But I know not much more than that, and I don't control his incarceration is not up to me.
I've been banished for helping kidnap a high priest.
Okay. What is okay? Why are you telling me this story? What is this about?
I have nowhere go.
Oh, I see.
Stay with you?
Uh,
Most kind, beautiful, holy man. and he reaches his little hands up towards your large holy symbol on your chest and kind of like, oh, and like tries to kind of like adjust it and sort of shine it with his slippery little fingers.
Sure. I would say, what do you know about farming and taking care of, potato farm, picking potatoes, taking care of the land, cleaning up, this sort of thing?
And he goes to his side bag and kind of rummages inside and pulls out a pair of tweezers. I pick good picks.
Yeah, well, so what I'm looking for is man or fish man to bend over, pick up potato, put in a bucket, take back to farm, keep track of what we have, help around, just kind of work here, and then you could have some space to live and potato to eat, kind of room and board if you understand this.
Board, yes, big board, sleep on board.
Sure. In my head, I think, there'll be a nice slab of rock you could sleep on. We'll call that a board.
2 dunks a day.
2 what again? What?
The river, to stay moist.
Oh, yes. Fishman, I understand. I assume you have to, have whatever it is fishmen need. There's no problem. The river is right here. Runs parallel to Potato Farm. It is yours to take dips in whenever you need.
I work hard. Yes. And he adjusts his bag and pulls down his hat and rubs his little slimy hands together, which kind of make little fart noises as the various moistures of his hands go back and forth.
Okay, but you have limited. We have a trial period to make sure you are good and not here to steal or be a bad fishman. But I trust you to get started, and this is a good idea. We can totally do this.
Yes, I work now. Give many shovels.
Well, I give you. For now, I don't. Actually, I do have some farm implement stuff that we picked up once, right? Didn't I get a bunch of stuff? We didn't.
Yes,
we didn't get in.
Basically the full array from the Tortolin brothers there in town.
That's right. So, without getting specific, I'll point out where those tools are, and I'll explain to him the major goal right now is to check on the growing harvest of potatoes, make sure they look good. I'd get into detail about, if you see a certain kind of bug or whatever, get those out of there, but also let me know if you found them. So if we have to do something, we can. Like, I'll just give him kind of an array of tasks he can do when I'm not here, and to document those so that when I'm back, he can fill me in on how it went, and I can ask him questions, that sort of thing. So we will establish all of that without role-playing all of it.
Sounds good. Let's make some nature checks together then.
Okay.
To express our knowledge of farming.
All right, sounds good. Come here, nature. Where are you? There it is. I don't think I've ever done a nature roll. 17.
Nice. You instruct him well on the needs of your farm and the needs of the potato crop. He performs at about a 12, so not horrible, standard and a slightly above. Though your instructions about telling you about bugs fall on deaf ears as you turn around working on your farm and find him just eating the bugs straight off the plants.
Okay. This is fine. I will see that and go, it's fine, and I won't intervene. That's just one way to get rid of him, so it's totally fine that he eats the bugs.
And hunched over, his spine kind of rolled across his back with his great big penny.
Yes, very good. Thumbs up, I'll give him. And
expression, goodwill.
do you even, if you eat bugs, you even need a potato, or are you good with just bug?
I fish. I do not know potato. Ground rocks.
You can have any bug you find you can eat.
Rats?
Yes, rats is fine. You can have any vermin, bug, snake. Any on the land is yours to have. Consider it the bonus for working here and doing good job.
I take bonus now! And he runs over and flips up a rock over by the dilapidated house on your farm. And underneath is this great swarming mass of rat babies. And he just starts popping them in his mouth like peanuts.
Okay. I'll be slightly horrified by just the sight of rat babies, but it's fine. Let him have at it. That's all vermin that would destroy the farm anyway, so.
As he gives a little slurp, he goes, moles?
Trying to think if I know what a mole is, or if Splinterbelt would know. I guess so. Yeah, it's more vermin. Yes, he's fine. Moles, mice, rats. Whatever.
With a 1 on his attack, he dives to a nearby hole and thrusts his entire arm down and pulls out a great muddy mass. All this dirt sticking to his amphibious skin. No more.
Yes, is very good. And I'll wave again, just kind of nodding at him.
Ko, you make your way home. You ride through town. The cart passes by the Temple of Palor, which seems to be having a bit of a hubbub inside. There seems to be some excitement, but the cart rattles on. Aegis, the centaur, delivers you to your home, and you and Ananthula step out. As the door creaks open, your daughter rushes towards her mom and embraces her. A bit tired and worn, she takes a rather reverent seat in your living room and proceeds to answer, at least to the simple degree she can, some of the questions about what it was like and where she's been, admitting most of the details and saying, well, she was having a dream. As the day goes on and the tears are shed and shared, she decides there's nothing more she wants in the world than to make one of her favorite stews, a more true, and requests that while she might be a little weak, she would love to walk to the market to pick up the supplies.
Ko would offer, for them to go as a family. Everybody make the journey together. They haven't had this opportunity in a long time.
You all head to the market together then. And she performs pretty well. She gets out one of her favorite dresses, which has since gathered some dust, and gives it a little wipe off and asks again how long it's been. But she gets dressed, grabs her basket, and heads to the market. And all three of you go about. She buys oats, parsnips, cabbage, mushrooms, stock, carrots, onions, leeks, turnips, green beans, thyme, rosemary, sage, and requests, if we even have the funds, a chicken.
Yeah, we do. And Ko will pay for it.
Do you pay for it with the sort of pocket change you might have on you, or do you whip out big gold pieces and get them broken?
I don't know what's the cost. He doesn't have much in the way of pocket change. He's got a couple of bronze pieces and a couple of silver. That should probably cover it, I would imagine, So yeah.
Do what you can to not be too flashy about it. Right. Having left the guild, let's rewind a quick moment. Did you reverse your armors, or are you kind of out and about in adventuring gear?
Once they got back to the house, they would have taken on a more, more of his normal dress attire. Not common, but not overly fancy either.
And Ananthula's eyes have continued to go to you as the course of the day goes, and your daughter's questions continue to flow about how she was rescued, what the guild did, how was dad involved, and she's left it all pretty open. But here, as your daughter runs ahead a little bit with all the supplies in the basket, she passes you it to carry as she wears out and places a hand on your shoulder. Ko, what happened? Why Why were you there? How long has it been?
Well, to be honest, it's been months. And, when it first happened, we went to see doctors. And when the doctors couldn't do anything, we went to see clerics. And when the clerics couldn't do anything, we went to see paladins. And when that didn't work, we went to the Heroes Guild and started trying to recruit people with knowledge of healing, healers there. And the truth of it is that it all got really expensive, really quickly. Anything that I could find that promoted healing, whether it seemed far-fetched or, anyway, I just bought it.
You didn't go
and-
back to Chuck, did you?
Well, not for this, no.
Chuck's been here?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't even know that they were in town. Look, that part of my life I thought I had left behind, but it turns out the Cloven Brotherhood is here too, and they found me. But that's a separate thing altogether. The point is, we ran out of money trying to find a way to take care of you, and I needed to do something, and it seemed like if common means weren't going to work, we needed to find something extraordinary. And you always hear about adventurers finding rare items and rare treasures and all sorts of stuff on their adventures, so I thought, well, I can support the family and maybe I'll find something that would help. And so, I'm not unskilled at this sort of stuff, and I thought I'd give my hand at adventuring, and it turns out I'm actually pretty good at it. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been working for the Adventurers Guild. And yes, I know you're going to be upset, and I did do a job with Chuck. But I want you to know, up front, it was for a very good cause. The guild actually approved of it. It was a little underhanded, but not super illegal. And I did steal some stuff, but it was from a very bad person.
Ko. And she breathes out and she kind of cycles through emotions quickly. A lot of anger, some frustration at you, at herself, but eventually smiles back at you. You did look confident.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have a knack for this. I mean, I always knew I was kind of good at some, maybe some less than reputable things, but it turns out I'm actually maybe good at this.
Good. Did I? And she gives you a little punch in the shoulder. It's weak. It's a little tired, but
Whoa.
Oh, something got knocked.
Something got weird.
Something got bumped. Oh no, she's the Calazar. Something's gone bad.
That was weird.
The final boss has been unveiled. It was Anthela all along.
Yeah, it was always
Wait.
her. I think so. Say again.
hello.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yes.
You're good.
I gave the perfect, Team Fortress Engineer bang on my desk and everything broke.
Oh man.
Play the song. Okay, hang on. I got to redo my settings.
Yeah, she wasn't weak at all. That was a serious punch.
Right?
Yeah.
Just taking stuff out.
It was a punch through time.
Knocked everything out. That was wild. Okay. I'm back. Yes. So she gives you a little punch in the shoulder. I saw you. Are you serious? Did you manifest psychic daggers?
Yeah, and that's not even just like that's not like just a thing there. And Ko lifts his hand and a little mystical semi-translucent dagger appears in his hand and then disappears. I can actually do that.
Hey, Dad! And she grabs your arm and kind of pushes it down back by your side. Yes, yeah, dear. Yeah, dear. You've got some kind of magic man. Are you a hero?
Cole just kind of trail as he turns and looks at Anthela.
Does Penelope know about this? Well, she'd worry about you, but you're gonna tell me stories later tonight, okay?
Okay. It's just a neat little trick I learned on one of the merchant trips. Just you learn all sorts of crazy stuff.
Uh-huh. And you guys proceed home. I'm going to roll some dice for Nathla. She does very well. She and Penelope pluck the chicken together. She gets through the entire cooking, and eventually you see your daughter off to bed. And Anathla crashes at that moment, just collapses in your living room on the couch, and asks to be told the many stories that she's missed out on.
And Ko is open, and he tells her anything she wants to hear, though some of them a bit more sheepishly than others.
Probably, what sort of details off the top of your head do you omit?
Accidentally stabbing Splendor Belt. He might get to that part of the story, and then we were in a fight, and there was just dust going everywhere, and I swung, and it was a really tricky fight, and we managed to get through it. Splendor Belt went down for a minute, but we managed to get through it. Just kind of dancing over little embarrassing details here, or the flame skull. I leapt out of the window, and I went to attack it. And then it blasted me or something, and I just fell. And but I wound up being okay. He's maybe a little shy about details where he's biffed it gloriously in battle.
And you sort of focus on the quests here, but as you get about halfway through your story, you go, well, where did the magic come from?
Oh, that. Well, we were down in a dungeon, and we found this blade, and when I touched it, it was like all of a sudden, I don't know, like I could put my will and my, I guess, for lack of a better word, power through it, and all of a sudden it gave me access to all these abilities, and the sword would light up, and it was really cool, but then the sword broke, and next thing I know, I could actually manifest the blade without holding it. And I don't know, it's been getting more and more powerful over time. At first I needed a thing, and now I don't even need a thing. And now I can throw them if I want. They can actually carry over a distance. Like, it's really neat.
And at that point, you continue your story, but suddenly she seems very distant.
You're losing her.
Wrong?
You did throw him at him, and I don't want to go back there.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that part. Let me tell you about Snake Island. Now, I don't remember a lot, and it's going to be a bit of a jumble, but there are little bits I do remember. And what I remember is mostly snakes. And then I just start telling bits and pieces about Snake Island.
And you tell the story, and you kind of catch up to the end, and she's fading a little bit, but she's holding on. And she turns to you and says, I slept so long, but I'm still tired. What was it you did to find me?
Well, one of the other powers that came with all this is the ability to speak telepathically to people, and I couldn't talk to you for real, so I tried that, and next thing I knew, I was in a place right along with you. We just kept experimenting with that until I found a way to get to you.
Do you think we could just, for a bit anyway, until I'm asleep, could you be there with me and make sure he's not there?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's hard to say goodbye even for a night again, but for the first time, we're gonna have a tomorrow. And I'm gonna be here when you wake up. And even though she's just laying on a couch, Ko kind of plops down on the floor beside her, takes her hand, and uses the psychic whispers to connect mind to mind. And then he just sort of says out loud, "Good night," and then mentally, "My love."
Now, mechanically, I'm checking if you have to be conscious for this. So actually, let's go ahead and roll the number of hours it's functioning for.
Yeah, why not? One. It's always one.
All right.
Every time it's one.
And you feel her fade off. You don't enter any sort of dreamscape, just, like you do when you're connecting with Splendorbelt or Grinkeeper. You guys don't end up in each other's dreams in that way, but you do sort of show her off into a night's sleep. And mentally, she sort of comes to for a moment in the dream, not out loud. What was this +1 business? And then falls asleep. Grinkeeper, Evelyn Blackwood. You all have enchanted your dress to at least fold in a certain way and maintain its shape underneath your armor for tomorrow's bronze ball. You head to the mirror for the night to get yourself de-ladied, de-makeuped, get your hair down and all that sort of thing, and head to bed. And as you sit there, looking at the vanity, you notice your equipment back in the corner of the room, and hanging out your bag of holding is the ribbon they use to tie everyone's hands together. And it glows with a great vibrant pink energy.
Evelyn's gonna see this and she's gonna turn around to look at it and then slowly get up and walk toward it and then pull it out.
You pull it out and you keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling this simple ribbon of some 8 feet long that you originally gathered is now some 50 feet long as you pull it out.
She's gonna look very curious as she watches, but she's gonna keep pulling.
Eventually, the end pops out around that 50-foot mark. Still cut in kind of the triangle shape of the ribbon that you had bought.
She's gonna check it out. Look at it. Is the writing? What would a detect magic be?
Well, that'd be a spell, but I'm not sure you have it.
I do not have that spell, no.
So you could roll an arcane
Arcana?
check to see if it has any sort of magical language upon it, any meaning to you immediately.
5. It's glowing real pretty.
As you look it over, nothing comes to mind, and you hear a, Evelyn. From the mirror you sat at before. Your roommate is passed out over her dress.
Evelyn will look at her roommate passed out, and then her eyes will go wide as she looks up at the mirror, and she'll slowly walk toward it. But she won't put herself in the mirror. She'll be off to the side, and then as she gets close to the mirror, she'll lean over and look into it, holding the rope.
You lean over and look into it, and even though your hair is down for the night, you're in your evening wear, you see yourself reflected back at you in your full armors, and you look radiant. Your hair is up in its buns, but every hair is perfect. You have this sort of glowing light behind you. Your armor's never been so shine. And you smile at yourself, though you might not be smiling at the moment.
Hi, are you me?
You did well today, Evelyn. You saved Ko's wife. You saved love.
Yeah, that's what we were there for.
This ribbon that you brought, and this is yourself talking to you, it seems, embodies the friendship and love which you bring everywhere you go.
Cool. Why is it longer than it was? That doesn't make any sense.
I have enchanted it for you. It can be divided as many times as you need and will always repair, just as love does, true love.
Awesome. Thank you, me.
It'll glow in the darkest places. Cut it and give it to those you love. It'll seek each other out, enchanted with the friendship that you embody.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, cool. I'll get one for Ko and Splunderbelt already. Margaret can have one. I'll have to think of some other people, though.
Each 6-inch slice will be enough to track them, to find them, to seek each other out should you be in need.
Awesome. Thanks, me. That was a great idea. Oh, man, I'm gonna get smart one day. This is great. And Evelyn will start talking to herself.
Are you prepared to meet the galleon traveler?
What? I mean, I wasn't prepared last time, was I? But it'll work out. He's gonna be there?
He
Were
will
you
be
there already? Are you me from the future?
You could think of it as such.
Oh my god, so he's there? What do I say to him?
Remind him of how you first met.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I could do that.
There outside the school, as he stole a kiss and you slapped him.
Yeah, well, it saved him too, so I guess.
And so that slap continues still. The healing slap that only you possess.
Yeah. Well, you know, when a lady is pushed to her limits, right? You would know you're me. So he's not mad about that.
Why would he be mad? You have quested for him. You have become strong.
Yeah, that's true. I'm definitely a lot stronger than I was.
What will you do?
With what? I'm gonna give these pieces of string away.
With this power I have gifted you.
Evelyn's confused because she's like, I gifted myself this power? Oh man, what do I do with the power I've gifted myself? I didn't even know I could gift myself this power. This is going on in her head. I mean, just keep fighting for now. I don't know. We killed the Calazar. He was easy. That was great.
He's not gone.
What?
There is more.
Well, then we'll kill him again.
Be prepared for tomorrow night.
I'm writing down the dance steps as fast as I can.
And you look away briefly to look at your fan where you've been writing down the dance steps. When you look back, it's just your own reflection. The ribbon still glows, however, still 50 feet long.
And Evelyn will stare at her reflection, wave at it. No, it's not smiling back or anything. So she'll kind of look around the room a little weirded out, but start taking 6-inch pieces. One for Splunderbelt, one for Ko, one for Margaret, and then she'll tuck the rest in her bag.
And as you cut it, they sort of have like a magnetism to each other. If you were to hold them an inch apart, they kind of lift slightly and connect. And as you hold the greater string and you think of these friends that you have, split the ribbon for, the string kind of lifts and points at each of them, kind of like is it a dowsing rod? You sort of feel it dragging towards.
Yeah, dowsing rod.
Cool.
And you wrap it up, maybe around your arm, and it can glow with a radiance at your wish of a distance of up to 60 feet.
Ooh, that's pretty nice. Cool.
Puts out a very, very bright kind of neon pink light in the area. Things look a little cyberpunky, perhaps, but
She'll try and dim it with her mind as well.
And it at first, it's not really a request. It's more of a desire. And in fact, a love. A inner fire that seems to fuel this light.
Awesome. And she'll cut one more piece of the ribbon and go to bed trying to imagine how she's going to give it to the Cavalier.
And you fall asleep to that thought. Splendor Belts, let's do another nature check.
All right. Nature check incoming. See if I'm as lucky this time. A 10. Not bad. Not terrible.
I got a 10 as well.
Oh, all right.
So as the sun sets on Splendor Farms, the two of you kind of pop your backs, and his a little more, amphibious and wiggly than yours. And good day.
Yes, it's a very good day. You have proven yourself worthy of permanent room and board employment at Splendor Farms. And I hand him a potato and say, even if you don't eat this, consider this your first potato you have earned.
And he shoves it in his bag. I go room.
Yes, you go room now. This is fun.
And he runs out to the river nearby and jumps in a great big belly flop.
Okay. All right. I'll feel glad that he's not begging for some awesome space in one of the buildings, that he's actually just fine jumping in the river. That's great.
You've gathered up some supplies. Are you still sleeping under the stairs in the tower? Have you started to repair anything?
I don't think I've had time to repair much, so yeah, for now, still in the tower.
Good night, Mr. Splendorbill.
Oh yes, you have done great work lately. Do you desire anything I can give you, since you are just a head with a stick?
I would like a glove on my hand, so I'm a point and wave to you.
Oh, this is a great idea. I'll think about this, because I don't think I have extra gloves around. Oh, no, I would have bought work
well,
gloves.
You did buy a whole farming equipment kit.
Yeah.
There'd be some, gardening gloves in there.
Yeah, I would have done that. That's true. I will put one on the stick and jam it down the index finger so that it's a good solid point, and tuck the other fingers up kind of underneath themselves so it looks like a pointer on there, and stand back, arms on hips, and have a look at the work.
Oh, that's good. Oh, look at this.
And he bends and he points his stick and points at the ground and then moves it and points at the moon.
This suits you. It looks very good on you. I like it.
Thank you, Master. Sleep well.
I will. You do the same, and I'll
Oh,
say good night,
I
Brad.
cannot sleep.
Oh yeah.
I'm cursed.
Yes, this is right. Well, okay. Keep an eye on things, Brad. I will check with you in the morning. You're doing great work. Keep it up. Thumbs up, and I walk out or walk away.
We proceed to morning. And in the morning, you all have your silver exam. Does everyone report to the guild on time? And for Ko, I guess in particular, would you invite your wife along, or would she stay at home?
I think the offer would be there. I mean, I think there'd be a level of awkwardness of him still feeling, in a lot of ways, he kind of feels like the reason he signed up with the guild is done, but he also thinks that maybe he needs to see some of this through, and is worried that things might not be resolved. And he would share as much with her and say, you know, I think I want to keep going for now, and just to make sure that all this stuff with the Calazar and everything you've been through is taken care of. I have to go to the guild today. If you want to come with, you can, but I understand if you want to be home and rest and all of that. It's up to you.
I know where you are. I'll stay here with Penelope. Make sure he doesn't come back.
You won't.
One more. What is happening tonight?
Oh, tonight is, I guess, the Bronze Ball. They invite a bunch of the Bronze Leaguers to a big social gathering. So, if you wanted to attend that, you certainly could. I think I have to be there in one capacity or another.
I'd be proud to be there. I'll take Penelope and we'll go get a dress.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I should let you know, there have been rumors that something might be going down there. We don't know what. We don't know. It might not even be true, but I guess there are concerns.
Well, I'd be safer by you then than out here if something were to happen.
That could be, sure. I mean, I would do everything I could, but just be careful, be on the lookout. If anything goes wrong, get Penny out of here. Out of there.
Wait, Penny's coming to the ball?
You said. Oh, you said for taking her to get a dress, not to the ball. That makes sense. That makes way more sense.
Oh, yeah, we'll go get dressed. Yes, but no, she won't. It's a formal event. I don't think it would be suited for her.
She'd probably get in trouble. Yeah, she's been a bit of a terror ever since I gave her dragon scale.
You did what?
Oh, I gave her some dragon scales on a necklace, and now she thinks she's a dragon. It's a new thing.
Okay. Well, I'll take the dragon to get a dress today.
Yeah.
Splendorbelt, do you arrive at the guild as per usual, right on time?
Yeah, I would get there on time. Just like always.
Grinkeeper, does anything hold you up in the morning?
No, except she always sleeps late.
Of course. And after your excitement playing with magnet ribbons all evening, you did miss a bit of sleep. But you still got...
And she'd have to give the ribbon to Margaret there before leaving.
Of course. And everyone, of course, gets a long rest out of this. I know some of you are still injured from your previous adventure, so make sure you take that long rest, of which was received last night.
Oh, yeah.
You arrive at the guild. Cassius is there behind the desk, and he waves you forward in front of the others who have been gathering. You see that there is some sort of contraption on 3 legs being hauled across the room, and out the back door, pushed on a cart, is the dragon skull that you took from the Dragon Mountain quest. It looks like someone put a glass circle on the front of some forging bellows and then attached a tripod 3 sticks below it. There seems to be a rather snooty elf working the contraption. Cassius motions you forward in front of the various adventurers. You see Woodleaguers taking quests for the day, and business seems to be conducting as normal, except for the Bronzers, who are all kind of exchanging various items about the room. Some of them have created lapel flowers and are trying to sell them to each other, or the spider silks have been worked into various jackets overnight, and everyone's trying to get themselves ready and dressed for the bronze ball. But Cassius gets a hold of you all. You are due down by the governor's mansion. There is a room being provided. Selenar will be meeting you there. You will be tested by the Numerari for your rank in the Silver Leagues. This will give you the title of Knight, should you wish it, but this also means that you're free to select your aliases or hero names if you are wanting. One may be provided for you if you do not choose one, just for record keeping.
Before we go, Cassius, I think I should let you know, and Co and Splendorbelt, apparently Calazar's still going. I told myself last night, I think it was me from the future. So anyway, he's still alive. We should be aware of the ball tonight. Something big's gonna happen. And here's some ribbon. And she'll start tying some ribbon again around Co's wrist and Splendorbelt's wrist.
Hold on.
Now watch that.
A ghost of yourself told you this?
Yeah, I look in the mirror and it's me, but I'm in full armor and my hair's done. I looked great. I looked really cool. So I think I make it.
He said it was a ghost of yourself? Is that implying that you are dead?
Oh, I don't know if it's a ghost or not. It was in the mirror.
Cassius just grabs the bridge of his nose.
Grinkeeper will finish tying the ribbon around Splendorbelt and they go, watch this. And then she'll pull out a bit of the ribbon and show how it attracts to the different ribbons. And we can find each other and it lights up.
And in this sort of isolated environment, as it hangs loosely out of her hands, it kind of towards each of you in turn as she thinks about your presence.
Oh, that is very nice. Yes.
Yeah, so if we need to find each other.
Yeah, it seems okay, but don't trust
ghosts. Does it
ghosts.
work the other way, or does it just you point to us? What if I needed to find you?
Think about me.
I think about Greenkeeper.
How do you think about her?
And I look at my wrist and go, where's Greenkeeper?
Nothing happens.
No, like a picture me in your mind. Like all the good times we've had. Like us sharing a drink. That's what I like to think. We're all sharing dinner around the fire. We stopped those mosquito things.
Okay, I picture that and stare at the bracelet.
All right, as you kind of focus in on that moment, maybe a little early in your all's relationship, but all the same, the friendship comes to mind, and the little kind of tassel on it, like that bit that still hangs out after you get back from Chuck E. Cheese, kind of.
What a weird memory I'm having right now. Weird.
Or a concert or something like that.
Sure. No, you nailed it with the Chuck E. Cheese. That's right on. All right, well, let the record show that Splendorbelt is a little bit taken aback by all this and doesn't like the idea of future ghosts, and it feels like kind of the antithesis of what he would normally believe. He would think this is all evil.
So Cassius there, he looks at Grinkeeper, kind of massaging the bridge of his nose, then looks over at Splendorbelt, looking a little freaked out. Splendorbelt, you of all people.
What do you mean? Why of all people? Why would you say this?
Grinkeeper, you are registered as a paladin.
Yeah.
What you experienced was a divine presence, likely sent by a messenger.
I'm a god?
You channel your energy from a god, yes?
I mean,
It seems they sent you a message last night.
Oh.
Splendorbelt, have you never been visited by a spirit, a ghost, or anything of this note? You're a cleric.
Not outside of Palor's influence, no.
Never once a talkative ray of sunshine or a mysterious old man.
No, well, I mean,
Mysterious old man.
perhaps I'm trying to remember old men, but every day I speak to a corporeal, headless version of a minotaur. Is this what you mean?
Sure, however it manifests for you. Consider yourself lucky that you're not part of these divine classes.
Oh man, Brad is most definitely not a god. I'm telling you this right now. Brad is no god.
Yeah, he's undead.
Which is also not so far from evil. I take your point, but
Splendid Belt, you said you had an unregistered monster living on your lands. Are you saying that it is an undead?
no. I'm saying
Very well, then please do not say any more unless I send out an inquiry.
okay.
An undead. No. While all this is going on, Cassius addresses Ko. Ko is holding his wrist straight up and alternating thoughts between memories of Splendor Belt and Grinkeeper and just watching the little hanging tassel point between the two of them and rotate. So he'll think of the time Grinkeeper charged headlong into battle and they all followed and it goes that way. Then he thinks of one of their lesser-known adventures where they all gathered to celebrate Splendor Belt's birthday by having a fun adventure together. And it points at Splendor Belt.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Fair enough.
Splendorbelt, you try it. Think of Koarai and see where it goes.
Okay. And I will think of Ko.
What time with Ko?
I will think of the time. All this ribbon stuff is reminding me of his wacky rope, his sash of do anything you need it to sash. What's it called?
I like that name.
Cleric, absolutely befuddled by magic.
But like his all-purpose sash. I just don't remember the name of it. I'll remember. I will think of him using it and scaling things and getting out of situations and stuff because this ribbon reminds me of that.
Okay, it works. You're a little impressed by all his energetic climbing.
Yeah.
And it wiggles slightly towards Ko.
Okay. Cool. I'll be impressed by the ribbon.
If you must continue your ribbon experiments, please do so on your way to the tests. On your way there, please think about what your hero names might be, as you'll have to declare them at the end of the test. And think about your P's.
Our P's?
Power, presence, and purpose. On your way.
Cool.
We'll leave him then. We'll awkwardly
you head
stand
out.
there, but then we'll leave him.
You head out towards the governor's mansion, where there's a room awaiting you with Selenar Everbloom outside of it. And we'll take our break now to give you an opportunity, perhaps, to think about what you want your hero name to be.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Ooh. All right.
Be a long break.
This is news to
I
us.
know. Can we change these names once we've chosen them?
No kidding.
Never
Change your name, but
Yeah. I remember that. Well, we'll go do it. And
Big
all
Papa
right.
Latka.
Yeah. There you go. Nailed it. Okay, we're back, and we'll pick it right back up where we were. Kyle, take it away.
you head towards the governor's mansion with directions to a particular room there nearby. As you walk down the street, Splendor Belt, you are approached by Brother Maynarch, the nervous sort of head of the clergy at the Temple of Palor. And he sort of walks alongside you. Splendor Belt, it's a miracle. Everyone has woken. Everybody has woken in the infirmary. All 5 of the elves there. They're all up and about and well.
All of this at the same time. They are just awake.
Yesterday morning, Keeves was first to wake, and all are well. They parted ways this morning.
Hold on, yesterday morning. Does that jive with when we woke Ko's wife up?
Would have been the same time.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, thank you for this information. I'll spread it around. I am due for a meeting, so I have to go. But
Of course, you're very busy. I don't know what you did, but congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. We are very happy with what is happening, and I'll bow curtly and then keep moving with full intent to go tell these guys about everyone else waking up, because I don't think we expected that.
Spunbelt runs to catch up to the two of you walking down the street, Grinkeeper.
I'd go, listen, when you brought your wife back, all of the elves who were asleep are no longer there. They're not comatose anymore. They are up. Whatever you did, or what we did, affected them all simultaneously.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's good, but
I didn't know. I hoped, but
it seems a little far-reaching. Yes,
go back there multiple times.
It feels far-reaching. Perhaps I'm not saying we should not celebrate. It is a good thing, but be cautious about why it happened. Perhaps.
You head downtown, or at least the downtown of Atamar as it is, and make your way to the governor's mansion. Thereby, there's kind of like a university-like structure full of large ballrooms, classrooms that can all be used for generous purposes. Splinterbolt once conducted a wedding nearby here. And you make your way up into one of the buildings, weaving up the grand staircase and back down large, dark wood halls. Large windows shine in this morning light. You may now click on that map that you had earlier.
Oh, lovely.
As you approach down...
Cool team.
Yeah, sure. Now we get to click on the link, huh?
As you head down the hall together, you see several benches set up outside of a large door. You see Selenar Everbloom, the tall, blonde elf that you met at the very, very end of last season after you had defeated the Roper at the Noble Hollow and turned in the various ne'er-do-wells that were out there. She is talking with Hiroshi, the Tabaxi monk, which you've encountered a few times. Belsunish sits by on a nearby bench, and she is called up and enters through the doors. As the doors open, you hear a ah, and then the doors close as it blocks off all sound from inside.
Wait, was it the door that made the sound? Kind of Hitchhiker's Guide style? Like, ah. No,
it wasn't a sound effect. There was a voice inside that made that noise.
Okay, fair enough. I'm a little sad, but that's great.
Selenar Everbloom in her guild attire, but hers is a bit done up. It's not the blacks and the whites. It's more of a sort of golden puffy shirt underneath, and then the vest has these weaving green leaves across it. Turns to you. She's about 6'5" and gestures you down. She has a large kind of scroll in front of her that she goes through. Everyone here, then?
Us? I don't know if anyone else is supposed to be here.
We have Grinkeeper as the name here.
Yeah, that's me.
Excellent. Paladin?
Yeah.
Spiros?
Yes, that is me.
Rogue? Crandall Splendorbelt? Cleric?
Yes.
Excellent. Which of you will be going first?
I can go first.
Yeah, this is fine.
Unless one of you two wanted to.
No, I think you would be a fantastic choice to go first.
Awesome.
I agree.
Very well. Please take a seat. We will call you in turn. And you wait. And you wait, and sitting across from you is Belsunish, the half-elf who has the lute across her back in her kind of traveler's tunic today. And she sits impatiently. She stares at you all as you wait.
So, how's your day going?
Fine. Bit up jumped, aren't you?
I don't jump very well. You'd have to talk to Ko.
I am actually a pretty good jumper.
Yeah. You should could you show her. You're really good.
I mean, I would hit the ceiling, honestly.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Hiroshi exits the room about 10 minutes after he had entered, and Belsoonish is called up and enters through the door. As the door opens, you hear a and it closes.
I love that.
10 minutes go by. Do any of you do anything out here in the waiting area, or is it silence as you debate your names?
Splendorbelt has his name, but he also would just be, he would use this time to meditate and not let it stress him out. He can't control it, so he'll wait like a good boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably make small talk about it. Do any of you know what name you are going to be taking?
Yes. Do you want to hear it now or when we announce ourselves? How do you want to do it?
I mean, it's up to you. Do you want it to be a surprise, or do you want it to be known?
I can tell you. It's fine. I am going to be Crandall the Efficient Splendorbelt. I'm very efficient.
Oh.
Yes.
And
Yeah?
because you officiated weddings.
Yeah, but also it's very efficient when I get something done. You need to kill Fishman. I kill quickly, efficiently. If you need me to help heal you, I have efficient healing. This is why I use
That
this
makes perfect sense, but also mostly because you officiated weddings.
name. Well, yes, this is a good point.
I'm thinking something like the Great Defender.
That is fitting. That is what you do.
This is not bad.
I don't have a lot of ideas. I don't know.
You
I
could
will figure
be
it out.
Ko, the out of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not idea man. No, you have many attributes we admire as a team. You could be anything you want to be.
Shadow, the Shadow. It's really good at stealth.
It's not bad.
And this is true, especially for somebody with hooves.
Yes.
It's not easy to sneak around when you clop everywhere you go.
Oh, Splendorbelt, you could also be the Horse Whisperer.
Because
You're the
That's
only
true.
one who's good at riding a horse.
well, I
Yes.
thought you meant because Brad is like horse, and I whisper to him. I say things to him. This is not
Who's
what
Brad?
This is oh yeah. You don't know who. Next time you come to the farm, you get to meet Brad. You were there when we took him down. He was the centaur. His name is Brad now, but he's the headless centaur that watches over my. Or no, sorry, disembodied head centaur who watches over the farm while I'm not there.
Oh, a minotaur.
Yeah, what did I say? Centaur? It's not what I meant.
I can talk to
Minotaur.
centaurs. I can't speak to minotaurs, which you, for some reason, are able to do, which is
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. So he's great. You guys will like him. I look forward to meeting him.
That's what we get up to.
Silence falls across the group as Belsoonish exits, and she looks a little proud of herself. And she sort of walks by you all. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
We haven't needed it so far, so the extra luck will do as well.
Yes.
She scoffs at this and heads down the hall. Selnar opens the door, kind of peeks her head in. You hear a... They would like to see Crandall's Splendor Belt first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't get up.
Good luck.
Thank you. I will not need it, but I will see you soon. I'll get up and head their way.
All right. I'm going to reveal the map. However, John, Kristen, headphones off.
Oh.
Or you might get a glimpse at what the thing will be. Scott, as you're going to go through the actual test first, you don't have to keep your headphones off once we
Okay.
go to the other people. So
Okay.
it'll be
Cool.
good for production as well.
Yes.
You enter, and you see a long table before you.
Yeah.
In one corner, in a chair, is a sleeping old man with a massive, massive beard tumbling down. He has a large, luxurious orange robe, and that comes up in this curled collar that goes past the top of his head and kind of winds on the sides. He has a large wizard spellbook on his lap, and he is just passed out, head back. Not particularly snoring, but definitely agape as he does so.
Okay.
At the table, you see, let's do left to right here. You see a large, thickly built shark man. He has the head of a deep blue shark. This is kind of like your, it's like a great white, but it's less aggressive looking. The teeth aren't all kind of jagged out. But he's got the head of a shark. On his back, you can see the top circle of a large metal shaft that looks to be a battle anchor. On his back, he wears full plate armor. In the center of the desk, you see a small golden cage with an imp inside.
Okay.
It's a red imp, about 5 inches tall, and has a scorpion's tail. In the center of the desk, you see in a large gold and white robe with red trim on the inside, a half-orc who sports a sort of balding hair ring around the front, and his tusky teeth protrude up from his bottom lip. Next to him, dressed all in green, kind of hunched over a little bit, looking to be humanoid at the very least, behind a mask that looks like a leaf designed to be a cat's face, is a woman. She has a bow strung across her, and you can see at her sides, under the table, there are 2 additional crossbows on her side. Sitting to her left, your right, is a large black panther.
These are actual animals, not like anthropomorphic looking, like king shark looking shark guy or panther, man panther. It's a panther.
The panther is a panther. The shark man is a shark man.
Okay, he is a shark man. Okay.
And the woman wearing the green, leafy, cat-like mask appears to be a human woman underneath.
Okay. She's the one with the crossbows? That lady?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
The middle half-orc stands up. Hey, welcome in. I am very excited to meet you, Mr. Splendor Belt.
It is nice to meet you. Your name? What is your name?
We are the Numerari. We are here to conduct your rank assessment. You will be judged and placed in order with other silvers throughout the guild. You must be very excited.
I am moderately curious, yes.
I am Zoltar the Wizened. To my to my right is Giga Shark, Barbarian Supreme, and this is Warden. Warden is here to conduct your purpose part of the examination, whereas Giga Shark will conduct the presence today. I will be in charge of a power.
Okay.
Please, enter to the center of the room. We shall begin. I recognize your accent as a fellow half-orc. Are you a Morgothian?
This is correct. You are familiar with that?
Yes, the Morgothians, very proud from the Repu Mountains, yes? Or elsewhere now?
Yes. Spread all over now, yes.
Very good. Very good, very excited. Congratulations on your promotion. In the corner there is, Maximus is a very old soul, but he may awaken should you impress. Let us begin. Showcase to us, we will rate from A to F, your most potent power. If you have request of, Huffle here, we shall provide.
You want me to actually perform it here and are you worried about collateral damage or other problems from me doing this?
Oh, the more collateral, the better, the more impressive the score. We'd be happy to provide Huffle, should you need.
Well, I am mostly a healer of both soul and body, but today I'm just going to take
That
this
is
as
not a problem.
Oh.
We are happy to provide you a subject.
Says Giga Shark.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's not that impressive, to be honest. It just sort of heals them. You want me to... Here, watch out for this. And I will, without much warning...
Wait. We shall prepare. Warden, if you please. Must I? And she slinks out of her chair and walks over and opens the golden cage. And out pops out that small imp.
All right. What do we got going on here? What's going on? What are we going to do today?
To the center, Hoffle. You know the drill. We have a healer test.
No, I don't want to. I'm not gonna.
You gonna? Yes, you are. And I did a polymorph spell. And he casts a spell upon Hoffle, who transforms into a handsome sort of human in just a simple kind of loincloth that he had as an imp.
No.
Giga Shark stands up. He takes from his back this massive great axe that's been made out of an anchor and walks towards Hoffle and swings it into his gut with great force. Hoffle falls to the ground, clutching his innards.
I hate the healer test.
Silence! Silence, demon! Do your part, or we will banish you yet.
No, I won't go back. But
There you are. Perform the healing. Let us see its potency.
All right. He will say this. He'll say, I was going to conjure 30 feet of water and dump it on everyone, but I suppose this is a cleaner thing to show, so this is fine. And I will cast Cure Wounds at level 1. And touch the little dude for a total of 7 points of healing.
that felt like a level 1 spell. You know what I mean? It felt like real little. I still feel pretty bad.
Hey, Mr. Splendorpelt, please. We're judging your power. We want the output, please. Giga Shark, do we require more damage on Hoffle?
I'd be happy to oblige.
And he walks over and swings again into Hoffle's side.
I've got I'm missing a lot.
All right. Hold on a second, and I will cast a 4th level version of Cure Wounds, which will heal him for 26 points of healing.
The holy light radiates through Hoffle in his human form, and his wounds heal up. There's a small scar left where he was impacted twice. How do you feel, Hoffle?
I feel good. I feel all right. I think I'm gonna be. Oh, I'm still human. Oh no.
Yes, this is the way.
And Giga Shark gets back up, walks over there, and swings his axe down on Hoffle. And his form dissipates as he slams into the ground, turning back to an imp. Giga Shark scoops him up and roughly places him back inside the cage and walks back around the desk. Oh, very, very good. Power here, we rate you a B. Well done.
Wait a minute. D out of what?
A B. A B.
B.
A B as in boy.
That is good to be B?
Yes. S would be the top. A would be below that and acceptable. But B is acceptable good.
Is A-okay. Okay. I'll take B.
On to presents. Giga Shark?
Yes. Show us your heroic presence. When you arrive on the scene, how will people know that you bring hope and life? How does your sight calm the masses? How do you strike fear into your enemies? This may be a pose, this may be a spell, or a speech.
Well, who do I if it's a spell, who do I cast this on? Who wants to take it?
We could get back out awful.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay.
Well, I can tell you this: these, and I'll pull off my maces that have the face maces, and I'll say, each mace has my face and is very, very intimidating. I'll say, I'll kind of hold them up, and then I'll say, so if this is not enough, I could cast Sacred Flame, which is very scary, and if I can see the little imp, I'll fire it off on him, but not lethally, just sort of, cantrip it over to him and
Give us the full display when you're at your battle best.
All
What
right.
spells are active?
I can do this. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. All right, here's what we're gonna do to try to freak him out. I'm going to start with I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy, and it's gonna be the big, loud, booming voice, 3 times as loud as my normal voice.
Nice.
And I'm gonna go, I cast upon the anger and flame of Palor, and I just do a big sacred flame. So I cast that. And after that, let's see, hold on. No, I won't do that because that can hurt everybody else. Let's do no, that's it. That'll be it.
Cool. All right,
So lights and voice, just booming voice and a big light show of attack on him that doesn't kill him.
so the light comes down and thins itself slightly as it targets such a small little creature,
Yeah.
but strikes him inside his cage as he's smote by this. Roll an intimidate check.
Can do. It's a good one for me. Please, please, please. Yep. 21.
Ooh, well done.
Yes, well done, Warden. You? Yes, it was fine. It was fine. My cat was not impressed. The cat is tough to impress, yes, but we give you got 21. We give you an S for presence.
Oh.
Well done, well done. Arrive on the scene, the Splendervelt does. Fear into the hearts of the demons.
So much fear.
Warden, the final test. And she sits up in her chair, adjusts her cat-like mask. Tell us why you wish to be a hero. A tragic backstory that drives you, perhaps? A promise that fuels you. A pledge of justice.
I have no such ambition. My goal is to, while I am able to save souls, to heal body and mind, and eventually corner the market on the local potato production in this city and town. With a potato farm I have already begun to build. A very practical, boring idea, but will serve the people of this place well.
Do you have no aspirations to be a hero?
No. I mean, I don't need recognition. I just need to get the job done that I am paid to do, and eventually build my massive potato plantation.
He is well suited then for this small backwater town.
I agree. No aspiration but money does not become a hero, no.
It's not so much for the money. Yeah, they say if you do what you love, you never work again. This is what I'm aiming for. So just enough to get by, provide quality potato products for the people, and make enough to continue. This is all that I humbly ask for from my time in this place.
The guild recognizes the simple life. A simple life no exist without the ground being fertile and the sky bright. If evil takes over, no farm This is acceptable, no? We converse on your purpose. We converse on your purpose very quickly, and they all kind of lean in and they sort of.
It hurts.
And she pets her cat. We rank your purpose a C. C is for acceptable. Fine. Have you chosen a name for yourself? We have two suggestions.
Can I hear your suggestions before I tell you mine? Perhaps you'll dissuade me from my own choice.
Warden puts her head in her hand. She says, "Call him Mr. Miser. All he wants is cash."
Do I hear
That will
that?
not do. That will not do. The name, the presence, still must strike fear in those who face him. I suggest Gold Heart.
Yes, Gold Heart is quite good. A heart of gold, but also it wants the gold in his heart. Crandall Splendibelt, do you have a request?
So I heard those two suggestions, right?
Yes, they were said loud and clear in front of you.
The first one was crap. Second one was okay. But I have decided to go with Crandall, the efficient Splendor Belt.
The efficient works.
Yes, I agree. He's very efficient. His reports say he does job and he goes home and make a potato. Very good. Crandall the efficient or Splendor the efficient? Which one for you?
Let's do Splendor Belt the efficient. This is my title.
Splendor the efficient it is. And he, with a large feathery pen, writes it on his paper. Very good. And rolls it up. You may take.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Okay, and I'll reach out, take it.
And giving it a little glance, you see that you've been rated a B on power, an S on presence, and a C on purpose. Your order will be decided when we return to the Guild Academy. There you will be given a number based on your comparative rank with the other silvers.
Okay. I like
Perform
this.
well and you may raise in rank, and one day ascend to Gold League.
Now, so when I leave here, I do what? Do I tell my friends to come in? Is their turn to go?
Yes, we will summon the Grin Keeper next.
I'm going to go, sounds good, and then I'm going to do a thaumaturgy again 3 times my own voice and go, thank you for having me in front of you today. It has been a great honor, and I'll deeply bow.
The old man says, did I miss the examination? It is fine, Min Maximus. It is the darkest delvers. Oh, I assigned them, didn't I? How goes your mission, boy?
Boy, it goes well. We are doing fine. I apologize for waking you from your nap.
Oh, good. Good, I'm glad the assignment and the divination worked out well. And he goes back to sleeping.
All right. I'll walk out of there then and tell the other two it's whoever wants to go next should go.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We summon forth... Welcome back, John. Get out of here. We summon forth Grinkeeper. And, Scott, you're free to stick around. You've already heard the test. So
Oh, okay. It's the same test. All right.
Yeah. So if you want to, run a sound effect or something, feel free to hang out.
All right. I'm good.
Yeah, no, you're gone, John. Get out of here. Splendorveld emerges. He has with him a scroll in his hands and takes a seat, waiting for the companions.
So how was it?
It's fine. It's pretty easy. You just sort of show off your best stuff and they give you a rank.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Grinkeeper,
Yes.
Grinkeeper, you're requested.
Okay, let's do this. And then she'll walk into the room.
You walk into the room. You see a large room. In the corner is a sleeping old man. Next to him, a man with a large built man in heavy plate with a shark head out of a blue shark. Next to him, a half-orc wearing a golden regalia with red inner on his jacket. And next to him beyond, a woman wearing a leaf-like cat mask sitting next to a panther. In front of them is a small golden cage with an imp inside, a small red being with wings and has a scorpion's tail.
Hi, I'm Grinkeeper.
Welcome, Grinkeeper. I will be conducting your assessment. I am Gigashark. My companion here is Zotar the Wizard. He will be conducting your purpose part of the exam. Beyond him is Warden. Warden will be conducting your Min-Maximus. Min-Maximus! Min-Maximus is sleeping. He may join us later.
Should I be quiet?
No. If you awaken Min-Maximus, it'll be as such.
Okay.
Zodar will be conducting your presence part of the examination. But first, we begin. Show us your power, your most potent ability.
Okay, cool. And then
You
she'll
require a target for your power.
she walks up to Giga Shark and she slaps him for 30 points of healing.
Oh. This is fine. You deliver your lay on hands through a slap.
Yes. It's how I learned to do it.
This is a most potent spell. You have healed me a great deal. Are you a healer for your group?
Sort of. Half heal, half damage. Mostly damage, I think. And tank. I take some damage.
Tank damage.
Yeah, you know, like front line, I get hit. Splendor Belt heals me up. And I keep going.
The paladins, this is the middle guy talking, the half-orc. The paladins are a hybrid-y sort of class. They do little of everything. We may as well see a little of everything, Mr. Gigashark.
Very good. Take a stance, and I shall strike you.
Oh, cool. Should I pull out any weapons or anything?
Whatever you would have in battle, if you wield your shield, do so.
All right, cool. Grinkeeper will pull out her shield and her hammer and stand kind of squat, legs open and ready to go.
Very good.
Gigashark stands up. He brings from his back a large anchor that has been created into a battle axe and walks over, takes a stance in front of you and charges and swings his axe wide. The attack is reckless. However, a 19 versus your AC.
Does not hit.
You intercept on your shield the massive anchor as it across the whole room, and you see it kind of shake into his heavy form and arms.
Well done.
He places the anchor back on his back and goes to take a seat. We did a hybrid class. We'd be happy to see a display of attack. Hoffel, are you ready?
No. You can't make me do it again. You can't make me do it.
Warden, please let him out of the cage. The woman on the side with the cat mask kind of stands up, leans across the table, opens the cage.
No. I'm fine.
Zoltan summons forth a spell, polymorph, and he transforms into a decently handsome man. If you please, attack Hoffel with all your might.
Oh, sure. Okay, do you want to see a ranged attack or a melee attack?
Whatever is most damaging and impressive for us.
Okay, cool. This one worked really well last time. And she'll pull out her javelin and she'll say the magic word, shocking, and she'll throw it and deal lightning damage as well if it hits.
Okay, do you do any sort of other augments with the spell?
No.
Okay, then attack.
It's a natural 20.
All right, roll it again.
I'm just doing damage first here since it's
Cool.
lit up. So 18 here.
All right.
Ooh, it's a 19, total 26.
So you throw it right at him, and it blows his chest apart. It splits him in the heart, basically, and the lightning reverberates over his shoulders, and he kind of splits 3 ways and falls to the ground. As the body starts to dissipate and disappear, clawing out of that hole that was made in his chest and his upper cavity comes the small imp.
Ah! 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 Oh my god! A
What is that
paladin!
thing?
Ah!
That is Hoffel. We've transformed him before you struck him. He is okay. It's a polymorph spell. When the spell breaks, he's fine. Aren't you, Hoffel?
Ah! 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 Ah!
I don't think he's okay.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Very impressive. Very impressive. Gigashock, you're raking.
I give the paladin an S. S for the Grinkeeper.
Well done. S is the largest score we can provide.
Yeah, question about that. Why S? It's kind of last half of the alphabet. My friends and I were discussing this before, and we don't quite understand.
Yes, why they make an ace instead of an emperor card.
Yeah, exactly. Why the S?
There's still a 1, but there's an ace. So
Yeah,
why stop at king?
yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's an S. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
It's
that
the
doesn't
way it
answer.
is.
Okay.
Success. Super. Super. Yeah, maybe super. It's just the way it is. S for power. Now, a presence. Presence will be conducted by Warden. Yes. The presence. Yes, please. Please impress my cat and I with your heroic presence. The look that calms the masses. The sight that strikes fear into your enemies. A light in the darkness, your nightly pose.
I mean, usually I just kind of walk. No, actually, here, let me back up. Hold on. Okay, so this is what I do when I start going after enemies. And Grinkeeper will back up to the wall, and then she'll have her shield and hammer out, and then she'll start running toward Warden. And look like she's about to hit her, but then stop right before.
Okay, would you like to make an intimidate or a performance? And do you add any spells to this? Meanwhile,
She
in the
would
cage.
cast.
Oh, if you were going to think for a while, I was just going to do meanwhile in the cage.
Oh damn!
She would cast Compelled Duel on the cat, since I'm trying to impress the cat.
Okay, all right, on the panther.
Yes.
Perfect. Then roll your performance or intimidate.
It's a natural 20 for intimidation.
I'm opening your log. So it is.
I'm not lying.
I know.
The
I didn't have it
paladin
open
was
myself.
lying?
No, I didn't have it open myself. I'm just making sure. And plus, that is a 25, so a natty 20 charging the cat. The cat jumps back, and even for this panther, full size that it is, it rounds its back and hisses as you approach and kind of gives a little scoot. No, my precious, you're okay. You're okay. She's not going to hurt you.
No, I wasn't gonna hurt you.
Well, it seems you have feared my precious cat. Yes, most impressive. Very good charge.
Agreed. Excellent charge. Excellent charge. Oh, fantastic charge.
And they all kind of coerce amongst themselves. S? S? From the cat, we get an S? Yes, we give an S to the cat. From the cat, it's fine. Is it 2S? 2S. Now I, Zoltar the Wizard, will conduct your purpose. Tell us why you wish to be a hero. A tragic backstory, perhaps? Or what drives you?
I
A
have
promise
to-
that fuels you?
Find someone.
If someone.
He's a hero. He's the reason I'm a paladin.
Is someone your brother, your father?
The guy I'm gonna marry.
Oh, romance.
Yeah.
You got the
Yeah.
romantic paladin.
Yeah.
Does he know of you? Is this a
Yes,
pledge
he does.
marriage?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. He was defending a party I was at. I slapped him, it healed him, and he disappeared.
Sounds like that night. The previous Bronze Ball, 2 years ago, attacked by demons it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and he got hit real bad.
Injured at this. The Galleon Traveler, then.
I guess I didn't know his name. I don't. Apparently, he's here.
Very interesting.
Yes, this may be the moment where you became in contact with your deity, gifted the power to heal the traveler, defending the Bronze Bowl 2 years back. Very good. Warden, it's childish for sure.
I mean, sure, but I got some pretty cool powers out of it. I wouldn't call that childish. You should have seen this thing we had to fight! That was not childish. It was a sand monster man.
Sand monster man.
Yeah! Yeah, he goes by the Calazar, and he was trying to marry my friend's wife, but we saved her from the dream. And now all the people in town are waking up, apparently.
We do not have this.
Yeah, we do not have this report. The Calizar, we do not have report on Calizar.
Yeah, well,
Is
that's
this
what's
new?
been going on. I mean, it's been going on for a few months now, I think.
Oh. The purpose is good. The purpose is good. I like the purpose. And they sort of, lean into each other and, and they talk amongst themselves for a moment. We give your purpose an A. A for purpose. Love is a very good purpose. Now, you have ranked quite highly this day. We have prepared some titles for you for your hero name, but you, of course, can suggest your own. Gigashark, you had one, yes?
I suggest the Armored Glimmer.
Oh, the Armored Glimmer. It's armored and shining light. That makes sense. Warden, anything from you? Lady Lumen isn't taken at the moment. Yeah, Lady Lumen ain't bad. Luminescent lady speaks to your at the party. You do not like this name, I see.
It's weak.
It is a weak name.
It is true. I enjoy the Armored Glimmer.
No, call me the Defender.
She did defend my attack.
Well, that is true. She does. We could say she defends love, too. Grinkeeper the Defender, then.
Yes.
Grinkeeper the Defender, it is decided. Very good. Your scroll for you. And he passes out in front of you. And as you take it, you can see underneath that you are ranked an S in power, an S in presence, and an A in purpose.
Awesome. What do I do with this?
We will debate at the guild your full ranking in terms of other silver ranks, but congratulations on your promotion to Knight. Knight Grinkeeper the Defender.
Awesome, thank you.
The old man suddenly awakens in the corner. Is the Grinkeeper here?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
that's me.
Oh, young lady, how fares your quest?
Pretty good. Which quest?
The quest to save all of Atimer.
Seems to be going pretty good. We defeated the Calazar in a dream, and everyone's waking up, but apparently he's not fully defeated, so we'll see what happens.
It progresses then. Good, I have foreseen this. And he goes back to sleeping. And you turn to leave, the door opens for you, and we summon forth our final testy. Feel free to stick around. Grinkeeper emerges holding a scroll. You've been Splendorbelt, did you stick around or did you head right on out?
Well, I'm outside, so I didn't get to witness any of that firsthand, but yeah, I'm still around.
Okay, cool. So you've been hanging out near your co?
Yeah.
Very good. Grinkeeper emerges, and Selenar Everbloom says, Co, Spiros, you're up.
Very well.
You enter into the room. You may look at the map now. You see a sleeping old man in the left-hand corner. You see next to him a large, robust gladiator type with a shark head, a blue shark to be specific. He has on his back what looks like a large anchor that has been fashioned into a battle axe. Next to him is a half-orc with a large raised collar that loops about on its side. Wait, nope. A large raised collar of gold and white. It has a red interior. In front of him is a small golden cage with an imp inside, a red imp with wings, and it has a scorpion's tail. It's panting and kind of laying on its side. Next to him is a woman wearing a green leaf-like cat mask. She seems to be a human underneath it, though. She has a bow across her back and 2 crossbows at her side, and sitting to her left is a large black panther who is cleaning itself and looking a little disturbed at the moment. The old man in the corner snores occasionally, but is otherwise out at the moment. Welcome, welcome, says the woman in the cat mask on the side. She stands. We are the Numenari, the representatives of the guild, here to do your assessment. I am Warden, and I will be performing your power examination. To my right is Zoldar the Wizened. He will be performing your presence examination. And beyond him there is one Gigashark, who will be performing your purpose examination. Overseeing this is Min Maximus, who sleeps in the corner currently. No insult suggested by this. He's very old.
Very well.
To begin, showcase us your most potent powers and abilities. If these are attack, we can provide Hoffel here.
You are wanting me to attack him?
Yes, speaks the middle half-orc. We were happy to provide Hoffel. Hoffel, up and at them.
No, I don't want to. I really don't want to. After that last one, I'm not really all that interested.
You up, you go up, and he grabs the cage and opens the door and kind of shakes him out on the table and goes, 1, 2, 3, a polymorph. And he transforms into a decently handsome man with several scars across him, including big scars that run across to his shoulders from his center.
Okay, all right. And he
climbs off the table and makes his way across from you. So far end of room to far end of room.
All right, what you got? Come on, what you got? You got nothing.
How tall is the ceiling in this room?
It's pretty tall. It's a ballroom style ceiling, so it's got about 40 feet above you.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. Figure out how this works. Ko would like to use his cape to teleport away to the highest point just up and behind this Hoffel fellow.
Like kind of a rafters sort of pose, or are you gonna fall directly?
I'm gonna fall, slow fall, because of the rain.
Oh, okay.
And as I fall, ready an attack, which will hopefully be a surprise attack.
Okay. That sounds great.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and make the attack then.
Okay. Is it a surprise attack? Do I get advantage
Yes,
on the
it
attack?
would be a surprise.
Okay, great. First one's a 25. That's gonna be the best. So 25 on the first strike. And that works out to 17 points of damage, psychic damage on the first one.
Okay.
And then with the offhand strike, that is going to be a dirty 20 for an additional 6 points of damage on the first strike.
23 total.
Yes.
Do you aim for the head or shoulders, or where are you stabbing in this particular maneuver?
Yeah, he'd be bringing it down like both sides of the neck, shoulders.
Perfect. And these are your psychic blades extended outwards and swiping through.
Yep.
So you suddenly, with a flourish of your cape, disappear from view. Immediately, the individual known as Gigashar in the end goes,
Oh,
"Ah, yes, this is good, and you descend downwards and
Where'd he go?
and you slice right by the shoulders, basically cutting him into 3 ribbons, eventually breaking off where his his unit would be, and just completely split him in 3s. He falls in these 3 sort of distinct pieces. In the center, a small imp plops to the ground, and the magic sort of dissolves around him.
Is this the last test for the day?
Well done! Well done! And Zoltar gives a little clap.
agreed. Most impressive.
Yes, very roguelike. I enjoyed it. Oh, well, we shall converse. It's just yes? Yes?
I agree. An S for the man.
An S. S in power, then. Well done. Very, very cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
He walks his tiny little 5-inch body across the floor and kind of flaps his wings weakly and just gets up in the cage and closes the door.
Gee.
Well done, rogue. Zoldar, you are up. I conduct the presence. Show us your heroic presence. Show us the look that calms the masses, the strikes fear into the enemies, the light in the darkness, your knightly pose, if you will.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I just need to read an ability real quick here. And it took me that whole time to find it.
This is always the problem with rogues.
Yeah.
Their presence should not be seen in the first place. They should be hidden. If he were to go invisible now, I would give him an S.
That's not how it works. You have to talk after you see the crowd. The crowd sees you as you exit the burning building or the monster falls. It's about the presence. The presence is not invisibility. I think it should count.
So I'm going to engage psychic whispers to all of them. And while just maintaining a placid appearance for them, as if nothing has happened, in their minds, all 3 of them here. I agree. Rogues aren't about presence. It's about what you don't expect and what you don't see.
Performance or intimidate?
Am I good at any of those? I'm okay at performance. Let's try. This is a 19 for a 22 total.
My mind has been invaded.
Hey, calm down, Gigashark. I believe it is our friend here. Did everyone hear that? Yes, permission, please, before you go invading one's mind. Now, Warden, we might be hit by fireballs today. This is most kind of him to perform such a thing. A psychic. We remember the psychic scream, man.
I remember the psychic scream, man. That hurt for a week.
I agree. That man screamed without any sort of provocation. Wait, this is much better. Very good. Is that the end of your presence?
I think that will suffice.
It will suffice. An A for presence. Very present. Very present. Gigashark, if you will, the final bit. Gigashark stands and sort of takes a sort of pledge-like pose and puts a hand on his chest.
Tell us why you wish to be a hero. A backstory, tragic as it may be, that drives you. A promise that fuels you. A pledge for justice, perhaps.
Well, it is a interesting thing. My purpose for being here was perhaps not selfless. My wife fell very ill, and there was seemingly no cure. I became a hero to find a
Warden
for that.
yawns a little bit.
And have already achieved my goal. But it is not just that. Now, doing what I have done has shown me that it is not just my own personal interests that need to be seen to, that there are others suffering as I have. I would like to help them as I can, as I have read about, as I have heard in stories about the Weeping Blade, to other such heroes who have made their mark on the world. I would like to do the same.
Would you like to make any check with that? Or were you just speaking from the heart and the facts kind of stand as they are? That's
just
more of a
speaking
character
from
choice.
the heart. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, we hear, of course, the family. There's nothing wrong with family motivating somebody to do well.
I agree. Family is very important.
Yes, we all agree. Family. Well, then, you agree. I guess we hear this sort of thing all the time. I hope for something unique someday. Well, it's acceptable. It's an acceptable reason to be a hero. I think you should get over your stigma. As lonely as you are with your cats, my cats are better than anyone could possibly.
Silence, Warden. This is a professional meeting. We will not get back into this argument.
They go in. They kind of lean into each other. We have decided. Your hero story, though common, grants you an A. Well done. Your purpose is clear, and you stick it out after you have completed your journey. Yes, Gigashark?
I agree. This man has the look of a hero. I expect him to ascend well, and see him in Gold League in no time.
Well, you have Gigashark's approval then. Now comes when we name you. You, of course, can offer your own name, which will supersede ours, but I like to call him the Psi Slasher, or the Psionic Slasher, would interest me.
Call him Mind Blade. We do not have a Mind Blade in the guild yet. This will do well.
Oh, which is Psi, whatever. It's fine. No, that's not whatever. Fine, Warden. We don't have any psionics in the whole guild. This man is a treasure. We should honor him. Co-Spiros, what would you like to be your heroic name?
It is something I have thought a good deal about, and have considered options much like your own. Should I lean into my psychic abilities and put that as my name? I even considered going by a name like Cutlass, as my attacks do not leave a mark, which I thought was very nice. However, there is one thing that has been true through all of our adventures, a common occurrence and a feat of some note that I am proud of and will stand behind. So I would like to take the name One Shot.
This is good. Chills go down my icy spine.
One Shot does work well with a rogue, it is true. What do you think, Precious? Do you like the name One Shot? Warden, One Shot is excellent. You shall be a One Shot then. Here you are. And he rolls up the scroll and passes it to you.
All right, I take it.
Anything before you go through the door?
Just give a little nod, and then turn to leave.
The book that was on the sleeping wizard's lap in the corner in his great orange robes falls to the floor with a clatter, and he awakens.
Oh, did I miss all of the Delvers? Oh, young man, are you the gifted?
Yes, Ko Spiros, now one shot.
Oh, yes, the linchpin, my trump card in this equation. Very good. Are you faring well?
I am. It seems to have gone well, and I am quite pleased with what we have achieved.
Ah, good, good. I hope situation 2 doesn't arise.
I'm sorry, what does he mean by that?
Min Maximus there, he is a divination wizard, very old. He assigned your group. That's how you came to be in the guild, assigned to the other 2 you party with. His divination was responsible for such things.
Do not think heavily on divination. The future can always be changed.
Well, at the very least, I am grateful for the group of people he has brought me together with. Thank you.
A noble sentiment from one shot. Very good, very good. And they all kind of go back to work. Now, Woden, and the door closes.
So how'd
Selenar-
everyone do?
Yep. Co-exits.
I passed. Did you all pass? I should have probably asked as you came into the hall, but I was very busy trying to think of a name.
Yes, Wonderbolt?
Sorry, I was peeling potato. What happened?
We passed, did you?
Oh, yeah. Is fine. I got kind of average grade on overall, but did pretty good in single category stuff. And they took my new name, so I think I think this means we are good.
What did you get for a grade, and what is the name?
For overall grade C, they don't like. I think they feel kind of meh about my potato plan, but they were happy with the power I displayed. Gave me an S rank there, and then before that, I forget what it was. A B for. What was the B for?
Boy? No, I was.
No.
So you got a B in power, a S in presence, and a C in purpose.
Okay, that's what it was. So yeah, he's okay, and name is the Efficient. So you don't have to call me this, but that is the name I now have. My new title, that is Splendor Belt the Efficient.
And what about you, Greenkeeper? How did you do?
Oh, I did great. I'm the defender now. And then I got an S for power, an S for presence, and an A for purpose.
That's very good. You did extremely well. I got a S for power, I got an A for presence, and an A for purpose. And I will now be known as One Shot.
Ooh.
Ooh, no pressure on these.
Well, so far it has been rather successful. We'll hope the trend continues.
Unless you have anything to say to Everbloom, who's standing at the door, you're all free to go. But you do have an appointment at the moment. You roll to head back to the guild and have your Bellows box portrait taken.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I hate pictures. Let's do it.
I agree, Splendor Belt. I have to sit there for hours. They take forever.
It takes so long to do it.
Well, best to get it out of the way then.
Yeah.
Perhaps they will be fast. They will do sketch and then we can leave.
Oh, that'd be nice, because
Yeah.
we gotta get ready.
Yeah.
You head back to the guild, and the back hallway is open past the bar, leading back into the courtyard beyond. There you find the First Sons Brotherhood standing against the wall. There is the dragon skull, the dragon you all slew, in the background, and they are attempting to sort of place a foot. Edgar the dwarf has a foot up on the nose, and he's like, "I like this," and the guy, the elf who's managing, has these sort of pinched spectacles on his nose. He's like, "No, that's not the picture I'm looking for the First Sons. We want support, something beauteous from within, a smile that communicates the confidence." Phelan's like, "What if I were to float like this? That is good. We can put Phelan in the back over the skull. Okay, and they start, working in the side. The brigand patrols on the side there as well. This is Dominic Reese, Hiroshi, the tabaxi you recently witnessed leaving the hall, and then a wood elf who you've not communicated with much before. But they're all kind of standing to the side. They're laughing at the First Sons Brotherhood, and they all seem rather proud of their picture having been taken before. The tripod is set up. It has a large, like I said, a bellows, an actual bellows that's been folded to make kind of the cone of the camera-like device that's been invented here. There is a very large silver plate, the size of sort of a dining silver platter, that the elf with the pinched nose spectacles walks over and slides in dramatically. "Everybody! Everyone! 1, 2, 3!" And he snaps his fingers, and these magical lights go boom, 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 around in a circle all around the First Son Brotherhood. And Edgar, trying to strike his pose on top of the dragon there, kind of goes, closes his eyes for a moment. The floating wizard holds his position, and Norman Green also continues to look regal, a bow pulled taut and an arrow loaded inside. "It is done! It is done!" And he throws a cape over the top of the thing and of the device, and pulls out the large silver sheet, keeping it safe from the sun, and walks it inside. Says Edgar Boonfellow. "Damn it! I done blinked!" "I didn't expect so many damn lights!" And the brigand patrol all laugh at him. You all up next?" As Edgar Boonfellow turns to you all.
I think so.
The elf comes back out. All right, everyone, well done. It'll be fine. This will hang in the hall during the bronze ball with your group's name below it. Next up, I have, are the Darkest Delvers here yet?
Raise
Yeah.
our hand. Yeah.
Like, hello.
Very good. By the dragon skull, please.
Go take a position, kind of casually leaning on it.
Kind of doing like the back arm cross thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really owning the dragon skull, are we? Okay, excellent.
It's a skull. It's dead.
I
What's
mean,
it gonna do?
We're the
Fighting a
ones
skull?
that slayed the dragon. If anybody should get their portrait next to it casually, it is us. We're the reason we have it. Why is everybody else getting their portrait with it is the better question.
It's the most expensive item that'll be auctioned off, so we're making sure it's in all the photos for promotional purposes.
Okay.
But congratulations on your slay. Please, you there, inward. And he points at you, Splendorbelt.
I'll scooch in.
All right, what are you going to be doing?
I don't know. I'm not really good at these things. It's not really my style, my place.
It'll but take an instant. You may you show your weapons. You may perform some sort of spell that doesn't cause any light. No light spells allowed during the bellows box functions.
What? How about big cube of 30-foot water? How's this land here? Is no good?
Why would we do this? What purpose would
Well,
this
you're
serve?
asking for performing cool magic I could do. And if there's no lights, I don't have much cool magic outside of this.
We wish to not muddy the yard, please. There's something else.
Well, I can yell very loud.
it won't arrive in the silver tapestry that we are creating. There's no noise captured by my bellows box.
I don't know then.
Please find a pose. Find a pose that works for you. We must keep moving. There are many photos to take
I'll do
today.
a pose. This is fine.
I mean, bellows box projections.
Yeah, I can hold my maces with faces. It's good.
Face mace. Excellent. Please do so.
All right. I'll
what sort of pose do you take
I'll
with your
get
maces?
like a kind of. No, actually, more like this, like out to both sides, just looking like, dude who's ready for a hand-to-hand fight.
Nice. You sound like you've taken this photo at BlizzCon before. You got this.
I think it has happened. I've got somebody's props in my hands, basically.
Are the faces facing forward?
Oh yeah, faces forward, my face forward, and I will match the face on the faces. So all three faces will be.
All three faces are the same.
Yeah, they're all the same expression, which I
Perfect,
think are
perfect. Plus, there's the face mace or face bow, the cross face.
right. And my
on your side.
my snake staff thing is also kind of big and prominent, and will be over my shoulder over there as well.
Perfect. Okay, is there a leader? Who's in the center?
Who got the best score today?
I'll do it.
And this is fine.
Very good. Okay.
Cool. And then Grinkeeper will get behind the center of the skull. And she'll put her hammer across the back of her shoulders and kind of rest her wrists on it.
Oh, like you're doing the hanging sort of like just worked out big time heavy stuff?
Yeah, walking around with my squat bar, just casually.
Okay. All right.
So considering I'm not sure Ko's psychic blades would show up because they're too translucent. Ko will take out a dagger and just do a typical trick that he does with it and balance it on a finger.
Ooh, nice. So you're doing the crossed arm, but like a finger out to the side.
Yeah, just a real like casual lean with a dagger balanced on the finger. By the blade.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
All right, looks good. No lights, everyone. No lights. All right. 1, 2. Snaps his fingers. 3. Okay, Splendor Belt, you're making an intimidate check. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Grinkeeper, you're doing a strength or athletics to show some muscles. Yes.
Yes.
And sleight of hand or acrobatics?
Let's do sleight of hand.
Okay.
It's a strong one for you.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh gosh, a 6, despite my awesome bonus.
I got a 12.
Dirty 20.
Damn it.
Grinkeeper, you flex well into the camera, showing through you have scale mail on, right? Yeah, so the curves of your scale mail just highlight your top and you look ripped. You have some nice little shoulder bumps too going on. The mace looks great back there. Pretty solid stuff. What else did we get? We got a Ko, your sleight of hand was...
I got a 12.
12? Okay, it's pretty solid. You look confident enough, middle of the road confidence. The dagger is ever so slightly off to the side. Slightly. If anyone knows what they're looking for, they'll see it's about to fall. But it seems like it captured well. Splendor Belt, you look confused in the photo. Kind of caught you off guard. There's sort of a sort of moment going on.
Okay.
A lip curled to the side, one tusk kind of half covered. Going on as it lights and squinting a little bit as the light hits you.
Wonderful.
Ba, 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 ba. It is done! And he throws the cape across the top and removes the big long silver sheet and walks back inside.
Great. This is too much like real life, by the way.
Helenar Clearstone comes out of the guild. No dawdling, everyone! No dawdling! We got to get ready! We got to get the stuff moved over to the bronze, the performance hall, the ballroom. We got the auction in just a few hours. Delvers, congratulations. Please, move on. We must keep things going. Go get dressed! Go get dressed in your ball best.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I'll sheepishly go get dressed in my ball best.
All right,
Yeah.
where are the Viper gang? Has anyone seen the Vipers? They're due for their There are bellows box. And the sound kind of trails off, and you all are pushed back through the guild and coerced by the many, many people to start getting ready. There are spider silk ties and handkerchiefs available for you laid out on the tables in here. There are flowers for corsets and lapels, depending on what you'd like to wear. You see a massive chandelier has been created out of those flaming sort of booger orbs. Cased inside of glass now, they glow with a brilliant sort of beautiful light, like a fire just sort of crackling ever so perfect, but a bit more bright than that. You see the owner, I think it's only Grinkeeper who's been to Nim's Threads, but you see a rather plant-like individual sewing people into dresses and suits in the corner and looking rather huffy about it. You must decide how you will dress for the Bronze Ball, because next episode is that very conclusion to Season 2 of The Delvers.
Oh, man. Why do I feel like this place is going to explode? I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Yeah, we're all just gonna dance. It's gonna be
I'm sure it'll be
a
fun.
long
Perfect.
celebration of dancing and drinking.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be
Hors
100% fun. Nothing weird's going to happen. It's not. The lights aren't going to go out, and suddenly all sorts of horrible magic will happen. I'm sure it'll be just fine.
Phantom of the Opera comes down the stairs singing about a chandelier, and
Yeah.
no one knows what chandelier he's
Like,
talking
oh
about.
man, we missed that plot. We spent too much time in caves.
Yeah, this is going to be no problem. All right. Well, I very much look forward to it. It will be the grand conclusion. Despite what you may have heard on Twitter today, next week is the grand conclusion of this season of The Delvers. And you don't want to miss it, so come back and check it out. Don't forget, in the meantime, you can support this show. That's right, with your measly dollars. It doesn't have to be a ton of money either. Head on over to therewillbedungeons.com and learn all about our Dungeons Plus membership. It will get you some cool art in the mail. I can tell you this month's is potato-related. So watch for that. More cool stuff as well. So all you got to do is go read up on it and sign up. Super simple. That's therewillbedungeons.com. And you can find everything else there that you're looking for. Our Twitter accounts, emails to contact us. Send us your questions. We love those for our question and answer episodes. All that stuff is great. Thanks for your support so far. We really, really appreciate it. That's going to do it for us. Until next week, for me, for John, for Kyle, and for Kristen. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Oh, I'm so excited.